What sound experience would you like today?
I'll have the fantasy pack.
Good choice.
And could you make it a Cloud 2 wireless?
On his way, sir.
Sounds amazing.
Back to NECC Esports for our final series of the evening, and what a banger to end it on. Boise State Blue versus Fresno State Blue in the West Champions Division. I am still Lars Newt. I'm going to be more or less your color commentator for this series, and joining me here in the casting booth is Nuclear to be more or less your play-by-play. Nuclear, how you doing tonight?
Oh, I'm doing wonderful. I, had a great day today, and it was wonderful outside. It was warm, and I'm excited to get into these games. It's going to be a thrilling series, one that I've been looking forward to pretty much all season. Boise State versus Fresno State. Going into the match, some of these teams have wins over some other teams that have beaten them. So, namely, I'm saying Lincoln Land, right? They're kind of in the room right now. Boise State beat Lincoln Land 3-1, but Lincoln Land 3-0'd Fresno. So, going into this series, what do you think is on the prediction table here, Lars?
Well, if we're looking at the paper, we're looking at the statistics on the sheets that we're looking at in front of us, which I guess if you're going to insist on the Mr. Stats thing, we kind of have to. Boise State, like you said, took down Lincoln Land 3-1. Lincoln Land is a pretty decent team in this division as well, where Boise State and Fresno State are both sitting kind of closer to the bottom. Fresno State 1-4 currently, Boise State 2-3. So neither having a great season so far. That Lincoln Land connection, it could be meaningful, but the flip side is it was week 1 that Lincoln Land took down Fresno State. Could have just been a rocky start to the season. You never know. That's part of where start to stray from the statistics a little bit, because it it's hard to know without playing it out, and obviously we're going to play it out very
Um,
shortly here.
We have to, right? And that's the only thing that you can do in this situation. But looking at Fresno State, I don't know if the momentum is really in their corner right now because
Mhm,
the past 2 weeks they've had a little bit more rough weeks. As to Boise State last week, that they played Lincoln Land. So
mhm.
going into the series, I'm really interested to see what Baynock and I'm not sure who else is on the starting roster tonight, but Cosmo Buster, I'd love to see him out there again this week, tearing it up. It'd be great.
It's going to be Instinct, Ace Pocket, and Baynock on the side of Boise State. And on the side of Fresno, it is going to be, oh boy, Manny. Excuse me. I'm flipping back and forth the team pages here. Oh,
Fish, Manny, and
I
Hyena.
always, it's not Fish. It is going to be not Koba subbing for Fish.
Oh,
Hyena. Is that I always struggle with this pronunciation. Excuse me. Sorry. Not Koba. Laylock, Manny. All right, we'll just get into the game and we'll see where we're
they'll
at
be
once
there,
we get
right?
rocking. And hi Yini. Oh my goodness.
Hyena, Hyena.
Yeah. I'm dying. I'm having a stroke here in the casting booth. It's fine.
It's
It'll be
okay. Take a
okay.
breather.
Oh boy.
But looking at the series tonight, I gotta say I'm not biased because I'd love to see either team win, but I think Boise may have the edge. And going into the series, I have seen Boise do some pretty crazy things in the past in the NECC. So looking at it from that lens, Fresno's gonna have to pull something out of their trick bag to make this one work, I think.
Yeah, this you're gonna have to come out aggressively. You're gonna have to come out swinging at this Boise State team. Like you said, they've got momentum. We talk about momentum a lot. It's the momentum of the ball. It's the momentum of your car. It's the momentum of the play. It's the momentum of the game, of the series, and of the season. And right now, season momentum coming off that big win after over Lincoln Loggers is towards Boise State's advantage.
Yeah. And I think that that's going to be huge because Lincoln Land has been playing exceptionally well this year. I may be a little biased because Chase DeWitt is also the assistant coach at St. Ambrose. But putting that aside, putting that storyline aside, I think it's nothing to scoff at looking at those players that are on Lincoln Land, right? They have some
Mhm.
like Slothish and Becky. Those are some insanely crazy players, and it's crazy to see Boise State get that one up on them. So I think we're having some issues getting people in the game, but we're slowly getting there.
We are getting there, and now we have our players. It's Adrian is going to be the third for Fresno State Blue. And as the
Adrian.
players take the field here, game number 1 has 5 minutes on the clock. And we are underway. As we always say, only way to find out who's going to come out on top is to play it out.
We have to. And as we're going to play it out, we're seeing Manny go upfield, pushing on the side of FSU. But FSU going back up in the air onto BSU's side. Not going to find anything off the backboard quite yet. Missing some aerial shots. You know, the first game is all about warming up and really just feeling out your opponent. So I see the two doing that here.
Yeah, it's kind of an awkward setup when you're just trying to feel out your opponent, see what they're capable of without giving up too much of an advantage. You got to feel them out, and the higher you go in these divisions, the faster that process is, where something like in the Emergence division, that could take an entire game to sort out what you're up against. I would hope in the Champions division, you can get this figured out in the next 2.5 minutes and really start to hammer home on what your strategy is going to be to get an advantage over your opponents.
And I think that they're looking for the advantage right now as Baynock and Instinct are backing it off the back wall, looking to get a play here in midfield. Ace Pocket's going to set it up for Instinct to play off of mid, going for the goal, almost misses. Baynock's going to be able to score. First goal of the game goes to BSU.
That's a great attack on the back of the net there and taking advantage of a defensive miscue to get that follow-up shot. We've harped on this all throughout that last series. Attack the back wall, not the net. Bait out the defenders to force a response, and then follow it up with shots on net. It's exactly what we see here. It's textbook, and it's a great way to open up here.
100%. And they had Manny there. He just wasn't able to get there in time, and I think that that's where the bait comes out. And as we're seeing a little bit of bait here. Adrian's going to push for mid, going to miss. Instinct's going to be able to pass it up. Going off the back wall, they're looking for a play, but Hyenia is going to be able to push it back mid. As Ace Pocket goes for a shot on goal, no one's there, and Hyenia got scored on.
Well, that's not a great touch to clear the shooting lane, and that's another thing we've harped on a lot tonight is clearing the shooting lane. It's great to get that initial touch, buy a little bit of time for your teammate to rotate through, but way too much power into the corner, bounces that right back out in front of the net, allows Boise State to follow up, and now we got the momentum coming off their last week big win, and now they've got great momentum. 90 seconds into this matchup, they've already scored twice.
Yeah, the momentum's in their favor 100%, and that's a Boise team. That's what they do. If they get up on you, it's hard to get them off because they just have it. You know, they have the spunk. You could say that they have the instinct, and Baynock and Ace Pocket.
Head in hands. I can't handle it, but here's pressure. Can Boise State handle it? Yes, they can. Get that one clear of the post and out away from the front of their net, but they're struggling to get this clear of the zone. Good pressure coming out of FSU. They just can't quite find that last touch in front of the net to finish it off and cut this lead back in half.
Yeah, Hyenia is going to look to push mid here, but it's Baynock's going to intercept, and Instinct setting up for a goal. Manny's going to be able to push off the back wall to deny them that coverage, and Adrian's pushing up for a pass mid. It was a little bit too readable as Baynock was able to hit it back off the corner. They're going for another shot, but Manny's not going to quite find the corner that he wants.
Some quick back and forth here. We've seen some prolonged periods of attack. There's a shot on net. Boise State, Ace Pockets like an ace in the pocket, finding the back of the net here, and that is now a commanding lead in favor of Boise State.
Call it a hot pocket, because what was that touch? Oh, that was spicy. Hit it right off the corner. That was a great shot from Ace Pocket on net. And now 3-0, sitting with just 2 minutes left on the clock. FSU may find that game one, they took a little too slow.
What's interesting here for me is how is Baynock, a Season 2 bronze tournament winner, going to keep up at this champions level of play? But there's Manny taking advantage of a defensive miscue. We just talked about it. You have to clear the shooting lane. Ace Pocket and Baynock go up for this one, and Manny plays it off the wheels of Baynock.
Yeah, he got the 50 off the bottom of the car, and that really set the scene for that goal. It was a tremendous shot from Manny, and it's like you said, you got to clear that shooting lane. Oh! They just found out the hard way as Baynock just scored right back to Hyenia.
Well, this is a kickoff goal. I've said it a million times. Let's make it 1,000,001. Yes, it affects the score line. Yes, it's important. But when it comes to the mental game, and we talked about the mental game a whole lot, you can't let it get you down. Kickoff goals, they're awkward. You're out of position by the nature of it being a kickoff. Water off the duck's back, get your mind right back in this game. But Instinct trying to take it right back out over the top.
Oh my gosh, Instinct, that was schnass. But looking at it from that perspective, I completely agree that the momentum of the game, you can't let it affect your mental. At this point, FSU needs to just chalk this one down and say, look, we lost game one. What did we learn, right? What are we doing for game two to set up so that that doesn't happen?
Yeah, you have to be getting creative at this point, looking for new ways to open up the net. One thing I'd like to see is some of that physical play coming out. There's only been 2 demos so far this match. FSU demoing one of the Boise players around midfield, and Boise with a nice demo in front of the net to open up a shooting opportunity.
Oh, there's 3.
There we go. Speaking of, right in front of the net, that's going to be the kind of thing you need to open up an advantage here. But it's a little too late, and you have to have the good, solid rotations and positional play to capitalize on those opportunities. Manny finding one in front of the net as well.
Yeah, Instinct was just kind of toying with the ball in front of the net there. Not sure if that was quite intentional or if he was waiting for a pass play here. Manny going for a quick flip reset right in front of goal. I think both of these teams are kind of chalking down this first game and really just trying to feel out the intuition, really, of what they're doing.
I like to see what's happening here with the step up in aggression, and it doesn't seem to have affected negatively the rotations on the side of, oh my goodness, what a cut from Instinct. That's an Instinct shot right there. You don't have time to make a good read, but Instinct doesn't need it with this double.
Oh my gosh, that was a great play off of the backboard. And I think what you were about to say is right. We haven't really seen a miss in the rotations from Boise. They've been just popping it off and waiting to rotate back around. Looking into game 2, FSU is going to have to get the momentum back on their side. Look to play a little bit more aggressive here and off of each other's passing plays more. We saw a lot of very simplistic sort of in front of the goals passes, and I'd like to see the confidence come out where they can make those aerial plays.
Yeah, we didn't see FSU take to the air very often. We didn't see them bring a lot of pressure down on the net. 3 shots on goal is just not going to be enough when 3 shots on net is the least number of shots anybody on the Boise State has. A total of 10. Manny getting 3, the only player on the team. I want to talk a little bit. Let's look at the demos here really quick. Demos on the side of FSU doing a great job. Oh wow, whoops! I just got rid of all of my stuff. I'm sorry. Okay, demos. We asked for them to step up the demos. This was the first 2 demos of the game were these 2. We said, hey, we need to see a little more physicality. Well, this one and these 2, and that's something good. I like to see as they're rotating through, they're getting these demo plays. We talked about that before the intermission. But we're not seeing that quick turn to punish and capitalize on those plays. The good news is, as they've ticked up that aggression, it hasn't really put them out of position, which means they're making smart demos as part of their regular rotations.
They have to, and especially against a team like Boise. I think I read that right, correct? The orange is the Boise demos.
The orange is Boise getting demoed. That's FSU demoing Boise.
Wow.
To be very clear here. And like we said, in the first 4 minutes of that game, we only saw the 2 demos, one for Boise, one for FSU. And then we said, hey, I'd like to see them tick up that aggression. It was almost immediate response as FSU picked up 3 more demos, 2 of which right in front of the net, doing a great job to get pressure down there and try to clear that one out. They just didn't quite find a way to capitalize and finish on it. So I like that strategy. I like what they're trying to do. They just need to find a way to get more players involved, be a little less conservative on the midfield line, get upfield, get aggressive, and really try to score, get more shots on net in addition to this physical play.
I think calling the demos is important for positioning, right? I think when they're getting the demos, if their positioning isn't down, they're not going to get the right rotation. And then it's going to be all for naught. And you have to be able to capitalize on a team like Boise that really aren't using the demos. They're just playing off of each other in the air. So if you're going to go with that strategy, you have to be on time. It's everything.
Yeah, I want to bring it back real quick just to talk about where these demos are falling apart. So they're getting that good rotation through. It's part of their regular rotation. They're not chasing demos. I love to see it. It's very solid. But where is the rest of FSU's team when these demos are happening? They're looking about here and here. You're not going to be able to capitalize on that. You need to have one player rotating through, one player turning back, and then one player containing at the mid, ready to punish here every time you get that opportunity.
Exactly. You have to have your third out there ready. And I think that's maybe where they're using a little bit too much boost, and they're maybe backing off and going toward their own goal on the rotate instead of staying midfield and fighting for those boosts. So it's not just being aggressive on Boise, right? Fresno has to be aggressive on the field and what they're looking at when they're taking these objectives and looking to take the different boosts, if you will.
Yeah, it was something that was done very well by Upper Iowa in that last series. Is it wasn't just physical aggression, like you said, on their opponents. It was aggression on the ball. Every time Southern Mississippi tried to pick up a ball, Upper Iowa was on top of it. There was always a 50-50 happening, trying to not allow them to have any kind of breathing room. I'd like to see Fresno bring that same level of aggression and gameplay here, in addition to the physical gameplay. I want to keep the pedal to the metal, plowing through these Boise State players, trying to open up those opportunities, disrupt Boise State's rotations, because as you mentioned, they're very solid rotationally. If you get those demos and bumps, it disrupts that. And then you have to follow it up with the aggression on the ball to try to take advantage of it.
Yeah, and if you don't, then we saw what happened last game, right? We see
Absolutely.
exactly what goes down. And going into this next game, I think if FSU can take that, and I think if they're debriefing right now and they're talking, they're not, like we talked last game, they're not letting their mental get in their way, and they're really plowing through. We could see this turn very quickly around.
Yeah, this didn't seem, despite the scoreline, this didn't feel like it was completely lopsided. It was absolutely Boise State ran away with it. They got better opportunities on the net. They got more opportunities on the net. When it came down to speed, mechanical play, and general positioning, that was a pretty even game. If FSU can find a way to attack the net in addition to the other things that they're doing right, this could be a very different series going forward.
I think it may be too. I think it once again just plays back to the mental and how they attack this game, how they approach it. But we're gonna kick off into game 2 of Boise State versus Fresno State Blue. Ace Pocket's going to be able to hit it mid, but Hyena is going to respond pretty heavily back in the back corner of Boise State's side. Adrian's going to be able to bounce it around, looking for a play mid, but Baynock's going to be able to take it and get that control. Looking to pass back, we're going to see Manny be able to cover net and just hit it back towards mid. So just a lot of back and forth play on both sides of the field.
Yeah, some quick ping pong here. So far, no attack has lasted more than 10 seconds. Back and forth. That one's not going to last more than 10 seconds either. Adrian takes advantage of an awkwardly positioned Boise State player to slam this one home.
Wow, look at the positioning. He saw he saw the pinch on Ace Pocket, and he knew if he got it on the right side of his car, or the left side of his car, it was over. And that's exactly what happened. What a great shot. Starting out the game strong. FSU's looking for the attack here, and Adrian's going to be able to knock it backfield, but Baynock's going to get the quick turnaround, push for goal. Hyena is going to be able to push it back down on Boise State's side. Going for the backboard. Manny's not quite there in time.
Looking over at the heat maps right now, and what I like to see developing is most of this play is in between the top of the two boxes in front of the net. Great job, Manny, with that redirect upfield. What a leak out pass. Awesome shot.
That's why you run the Finnick. Look at that. Look at that twist. Oh, the corner. And Ace Pocket wasn't able to get there on the rotate. So that was another goal going to FSU, and we're quickly seeing them turn around their mistakes from last game.
That is a textbook transition play for an opportunity. Baynock looking for their own, and it's off the corner. And this game number 2, barely 60 seconds gone, and it's already as intense as it gets.
Oh, and Ace Pocket was going for another 6 shot on goal, but wasn't able to quite find it. Instinct catching that rotation out, putting the ball back in the corner, as we're now seeing Fresno little grouped up here in the corner and kind of stuck. Boise's not really making the attack that we thought they'd be making right here, though. Ace Pocket going for the quick touch on goal, not going to be able to quite get it.
Well, we saw a little bit of a positional error here, a team bump in front of the net that didn't get punished by Boise, but it left them awkward and left an open net for way too long that I'm comfortable with. But the good news is that's rare. That's the first time I've noticed that this series, and really speaks to what they've been doing right. Adrian looking for one, but puts it just back behind. And at this point, I'm not one to get hype over every shot, but with how these have been so accurate and so intense, you can't help it.
This is some top tier Rocket League, as we're seeing both teams not only pull out the offense, but now the defense is coming out in this game too. Is Instinct catches the ball on the left side and able to take it into the goal. Wow. What a pass from Aiden.
Great pressure out of Boise State, recognizing where Manny's carrying that ball at the top, setting it down, and then Instinct with a great read on that touchdown to finish that off in that top corner. Great pressure upfield. I love to see it. It's exactly what we were talking about Fresno needs. Boise doing a great job setting the example themselves, and now I've said great way too many times.
But I mean, what else is it? If it's not short of greatness, it is. Boise State now has 1 on the clock for game 2. Instinct was looking to make a cheeky play right in front of net, but wasn't able to quite find it, as we're seeing Ace Pocket go up in the air. Oh, Fresno's going for the goal, and they are going to be able to get it off of Adrian. Now 3-1 with 2 minutes left on the shot clock.
I want you to notice what's changed between game 1 and game 2 of this series. Fresno is playing significantly more upfield and significantly more in the face of Boise State. And look what it's done to the scoreline. Currently leading 3-1, but plenty of game left. We're just past halfway in game number 2.
Wow, and it's crazy because I really think that Fresno is playing so reactionary right now. Adrian! What a pivot! Look at this.
Adrian! Sorry, I couldn't help. But that's a great turn, and that's what you need here. I have to find a new word other than great. Please, somebody, something
Phenomenal.
other than gate. Great. That's a phenomenal turn out of Adrian, and that's something that goes to awareness of momentum. We talked about that, recognizing where the momentum of that play is going, where you're going to find opportunities, and saying, hey, I don't need to rotate to the top. I don't need to rotate out for boost. I'm going to rotate back for a shooting opportunity. Manny leaves this one in front. An ace pocket denied by Adrian.
Wow, he was able to get it off of the double jump too. He hopped up and then barely caught it at the peak of his jump. That was a crazy save from Adrian, as Fresno was just bound mid and BSU was just taking shots on goal. Adrian with the jukes, and they're all gonna miss, and he's just gonna pop it in.
Adrian has 4 goals on 4 shots, 100% shooting. We have a minute 27 left. I think this was fairly well in Fresno's favor. They did such an awesome job from the intermission. They got that little bit extra time when the server went down for maintenance to sit and talk about what they needed to do. And oh my goodness, have they executed.
Yeah, they've definitely entered flow state. It seems like it feels like they're playing a lot more relaxed at this point, but they can't keep that up for too long because Boise's still here and they're on their heels.
Baynock with a terrific read. I'm stretching my vocabulary, I'm sorry. With a terrific read to put that one back down. And again, just that recognition of momentum now to the favor of Boise. Getting that quick turn back upfield to attack the net. Here's one off the kickoff. Ace pocket can't find that corner pocket, but Instinct can in that top shelf. We're now within 2 with 66 seconds remaining.
Wow, Instinct able to come up off of the play, getting it off the top of the backboard. Ace Pocket was looking for a quick goal there, wasn't able to find it, but Instinct secured the bag. Now with a minute left on the clock, this game isn't over yet. 3-5, Boise's only down by 2, and they could make a quick turnaround in this last 60 seconds.
Yeah, something to point out here is those goals from Boise State all happened within the last minute or so. They only have plenty of time to find 2 more to force the overtime. First demo of the match coming out exactly on the midfield line here.
And that was a good demo. I mean, it was textbook. Like you said earlier, they were getting it off the rotate. Ooh, Ace is going to be able to guard mid as Manny was going for another insane shot. Instinct pushing mid now, going for the pinch onto goal. It's going to go over Ace Pocket's head. Ooh, almost shot on goal, but Ace is going to be able to save it.
I noticed something earlier where on a shooting opportunity just now, wow, what a find in that back corner. What is this angle?
I have no idea. I did not even think they had a shot here. Hyenia with the angle. Wow. That was a great play from Hyenia, looking to see the opportunity and seizing it.
Another quick turn. This time recognizing up the wall. Baynock is going to find one here, but I'm worried it's not enough. 12 seconds for 2 more goals. If they can't find 2 more kickoff goals, this is game over for Fresno State.
This is an all-out brawl, though, between these two teams. 10 goals now in Game 2, and we are seeing a much closer series between Boise State Blue and Fresno State Blue.
The question's going to be which of these teams can do this consistently for the rest of the series. That's what it comes down to, is consistency. It's all of the C words that make up championship teams. Now, how fitting. You have to have C words for a championship team. Consistency, communication, chemistry, all of these things in your team that go towards making a championship team. And can Fresno keep this level of play up for another 2 games at least?
That's hard, right? Because endurance is everything. And that's not a C word, but that is an E word alongside of excellence that you need to be at this level.
This is there's so much to unpack in that game, and at the same time I'm at a loss for words of what do we talk about. Boise out shooting Fresno by only a couple of shots. We're very even there. Adrian with 4 goals and some big defensive plays, and the thing is, that's not a hard carry. Manny in Hyenia also making huge contributions up and down the field. that's a tough team to beat. Boise State got close to tying it back up late in the game, but they just couldn't quite edge it out. I think to bring this one back, again, I'm going to go back to it. Get into that physical play, and you got to match this pace that Fresno is laying down right now. They just outpaced Boise throughout the first 4 minutes of that game.
Yeah, and I think what we saw from game one with their passing opportunities, they were really getting that locked down in that last game. They're playing off of each other, and the touches were everything in that game. Even the plays that we saw from Manny and Ahania, while they were being more supportive and setting up the shots, they were landing every time. So now going into game three, we're going to see 1-1 on the scoreboard. BSU and FSU, it's really anyone's series at this point. Baynock going for a cheeky goal off of the beginning, but he wasn't able to really find anything there. That was almost an insane first goal from Boise State.
Yeah, with great patience. I did it again. Wonderful patience out of Manny there, waiting on the goal line, understanding where Baynock was going to try to take a shot from, not on the net, but on the field, knowing that they had time to try to react. Allows them to clear that away. But all of the pressure so far, well, it was when I started that sentence, to the advantage of Boise. Fresno finding a way to turn this one back around. We get back to some of this ping pong action that we've seen before, where it's a lot of quick transition plays. I'd like to see a little bit of a settled offensive rotation to bring some pressure. Ace Pocket with a rare miss. We're going to turn this one back around.
Usually doesn't happen with Ace. He's usually able to get those Finnick plays, but wow, a demo coming out from Fresno onto Boise, and once again, we're not seeing the capitalization that they want to see. Instinct and Baynock playing like clockwork. Ace Pocket coming in for the goal, but it's barely going to get blocked out by Fresno.
Boise still seems to be in command of the air. We've seen Fresno go up a couple of times, but they're not quite meeting Boise with the level of airtime, and maybe to their advantage. Spending more time on the ground gives you more control and saves some boost. But if you can find a way to effectively connect over the top, pass up to Baynock, and a shot on net, touched away by Inia. But that's Ace Pocket. Wow, what a read.
Oh, wow, that was a great play from Ace. I saw this play from Instinct over to Baynock, but I didn't see the rotate from Ace Pocket, and what a wonderful angle. He was able to get it. Stay Puft Marshmallow Man coming out to celebrate as well.
Just past the first minute and a half into this game. It's 1-0 to Boise, but the level of play and the pace of play not settling yet. Going to continue to hammer away at each other as Baynock looking for a quick turn here. Going to continue to bring this pressure down towards the net, but they just can't quite find a way to get this one effectively into the shooting lane and then follow it up. A couple across the top. Baynock looking for one, and a couple that just don't quite find the touch they need to finish this one off.
Boise is bullying these clears right now. Every time Fresno is going to clear, a Boise member is there to stop them every time, and that is keeping the ball on Fresno's side. Fresno needs to look for a different method of getting this out of the way, because Ace Pocket's gonna schmoove on you if you don't. What a flip from Ace. As he saw the opportunity, he said, let me just moonwalk on you real quick. Ooh.
Really like that catch coming off the wall. It's something that you see as you go up in the ranks of Rocket League and up in the skill level. A lot of players have a nasty habit of going up the wall and immediately just beaming that ball downfield. Ace Pocket does a tremendous job. I gotta get a thesaurus out. I think I'm four words now. Does a tremendous job of recognizing where the control needs to come from, getting under that ball, catching it so effectively off the post, so effectively to be able to follow up immediately with a flick on net.
Wow, I'm surprised that neither of them were able to get that from Instinct right there. They should have been able to clear that. Both of them were coming, but Baynock once again going to stop the ball midfield, and Manny said, nah, no you're not, get out of here. Instinct was looking to make a play mid, but Ace Pockets might be able to clean it up here. Nope, Fresno is going to be able to clear back to Boise's side. And really, with only 1:50 left, it feels like this game's pacing has been entirely different than the previous two. Both teams playing a lot more defensively.
More defensively, but not slower. They're doing just a wonderful job of continuing to crank that speed and try to find an advantage by catching your opponents in an awkward position, letting their guard down for even a second. And I think you can afford to play a little bit more defensively if you can play at the speed necessary to come up with opportunities. That one's off the crossbar, and the double commit out of Boise State to get it clear works to get it beyond the net, but it's troubling signs as the pace of play continues to be cranked up. You need to be careful about exactly that kind of double commit. Communication starts to break down. Yikes, so many opportunities on the net.
It's so crazy because they're recognizing that at this speed, they have to have someone rotating back to goal. Having that midfield third there anymore isn't really much of an option because they just keep clearing, and they need someone on that net to be able to clear it out. But looking at it now, Adrian is going to try to play off of the back wall. He's not going to find much. Manny looking mid. Oh, it's rotating back. Ianni is not going to be able to find it either.
What a pass. Adrian with the awareness to see Manny across, but then instinct comes through and just blasts him away. Less than 30 seconds remain. Fresno needs to find 2 to force the overtime, and it's all Boise's show right now. Look at the pressure down on the net. Finally, a runner back the other way. As the clock ticks down, this looks like a fairly secure victory for Boise State, at least on the score line, but not in the gameplay. Fresno continues to find pressure, looking for one for the road. That's touched down, and Boise takes game 3. I'm exhausted from just the last 2 games.
It has been nothing short of a brawl fest. Even if this last game didn't show it, on the goal side, if you look at the shots, Boise had 13 shots that game. That was insane. They just kept, it was like a machine gun. It just kept bouncing off the back wall. I felt like we were playing handball more than Rocket League.
I know. The thing about this, though, is FSU, they only had 7 shots, and I think 4 of them came in the last 90 seconds. They didn't find some of that pressure. Great job playing up and down the field. Awesome job getting all over the place. They just, didn't find the shots on net like they needed to. If they could have brought that pace of shooting that they had in the last 90 seconds to earlier in the game, I think they would have been very effective. I want to throw real quick to the touch map here. Look at this. We have a very nice touch map. What I want to point out is look at these regions. Oh, that's a terrible circle. What am I? I'm just a line here and a line here. Look at these regions. A lot of times you see these are very hot, very populated regions as teams try to force down the wall. But look where all the play trying to clear and drive up the field is. It's right here in the mid. I love to see it. These teams doing a great job of being effective through the midfield and challenging each other at the midline, trying to get that contained and trying to get shooting opportunities in front of the net.
And they have to, but that is such an interesting take on that because usually they do rotate out to the sides. So it's interesting that we're seeing a lot more of that play up in the corners and through mid, specifically through mid. And it shows that they're fighting for the mid control. But as we are going to be fighting in game, we're now going on to game 4. Boise State now up 2-1 on Fresno State Blue, and Fresno State looking to gas it up is Adrian coming from the crowd on the field and knocking him out.
Wow, and it's exactly what we just talked about with that goal from Ace Pocket. Goes up the wall, but doesn't just bang it clear, plays it down, gets control, and then the ground to air dribble to finish it off in that upper corner. 18 seconds in, and Fresno is already slugging away.
Wow, and this is what we need to see from Fresno. I think last game they had fine shots. Their shots were okay. They just weren't able to get the angles that they needed to finish the shots out. The rotations were a little slow, and so if we can see that timing bump back up this game, we're going to see a much cleaner game from Fresno, and we may see a game 5 in this set. Manny looking to take it up midfield, but Ace Pocket's going to be able to save it, take it back, and looking for a back pass off the corner. Baynock's going to be able to find it, pushing back up, but Manny's going to be able to touch it back mid, and we're just seeing a lot of control from Boise, keeping it on Fresno's side, but Ianni looking for a score on the goal. Baynock's going to be able to stop it. Adrian looking to just stall it out on their side. going back toward goal, and Manny's not going to be able to find the shot that he needs.
A lot of control is right. In that first minute, 42 seconds were spent down in Fresno State's end. Fresno has spent, up until the last few seconds here, a whopping 4 seconds in one consistent attack. But it's all they've needed. The quick transition plays, Adrian barreling down. Fresno continuing to bring that aggressive play style that's worked for them in the past. It's continuing to work for them here in game number 4. Adrian, look at that one, finished by Manny. What a turn.
Wow, even that goes to show that rotation was so solid. They didn't need Manny, but he was there, right? Even if Instinct was able to rotate faster or Ace wasn't going up in the air, what really caused that shot was Ace wasn't able to get the angle that he needed on his Finnick to bounce it back. So just fell dead straight down, and Manny was there to capitalize.
Fresno continuing the attack, driving that one across the front. They're giving a little bit more space now, I think, taking advantage of the fact that they don't need to score anymore. But I'd like to see them widen this lead a little bit wider. With Boise, you know Boise can come back and strike in the last 20 seconds. 2 goals, comforting, but not enough off the crossbar. A little too much out of Boise State.
Boise is such a momentous team. It's so hard for when they're down to come back, but when they do come back, it is solid, right? It is a lot, it is ferocious, and it's not like they're letting off the gas right now. This is just that close of a game right now. Baynock touching back to Instinct, and Instinct is there to knock it in.
These midfield plays, I love it. Ace Pocket, everybody involved. Ace Pocket down to Baynock, over to Instinct. What a quick read. Getting the entire team. You talked about pass plays before, and this one, the three-dimensional, it's 3D chess. I'm going to say it. 3D chess. Ace Pocket down to Baynock, over to Instinct, getting everyone involved, working all the different levels. Just touched away. Baynock looking for another one here. That's how you open up defenses. It's so difficult to follow the ball and follow the attack as it goes up and down and left and right, back and forth and into the net for Baynock.
And Hyenia going for the backflip there, but I don't think he realized that he was a little bit too far away to be able to get it. As Baynock's gonna go right over the top of his car. His front of his car was almost looking at the ball in slow motion as it was going over the air. Going for the kickoff again. It's gonna be close. What do you think, Lars, as we're entering the final 2 minutes of this game 4 and the score's even?
I'm so torn. Part of me desperately wants a game 5 because, oh my God, what has happened here in the last 3 games? But part of me doesn't think I can handle it. My blood pressure's got to be through the roof. My heart rate. That one's off the crossbar and down. His pocket can't quite find it.
Oh my gosh, Instinct had to kind of wait there. He really couldn't engage in that because he was the third. He had to wait for the rotate out just in case, and he was there in time. Looking to fight Adrian in the corner here. They are going to be able to go mid. Manny's looking for a prey, but he is going to miss. And oh no, we're seeing Boise group up mid, all 3 of them together, and that's going to get stopped very quick. What was that play? What, it just kind of went right over him? Did he not have the boost?
Oh, that's so unfortunate. Instinct tries to pop that up for a teammate, and then Ace Pocket just left to the Wolves. Fresno able to take advantage of it. Just sends a long looper over the top. Sends that lead back out, but there's still 80 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, they can still definitely come back from this. This is not over. Ace going and down for it. Saw the rotate from Baynock, and wow, Ace cooking it up. I'm telling you, there's layers to this hot pocket touches that he's got.
That's so fitting for the hot pocket because, you know, you throw it in the microwave and you pull it out and parts of it are hot and parts of it are cold. And,
right?
But everything's hot about Ace Pocket right now. It's just the different levels of heat that they're bringing all up and down the field. There's a shooting opportunity once again off of a Boise player.
What is Adrian tonight? Adrian is really getting these shots that FSU needs to see and keeping FSU alive really in the series. We talked about it earlier. Hyenia and Manny are both doing exceptionally well, but Adrian going for the shots that counts. Is Ace Pocket going for another shot on goal, not going to be able to quite find it. Looking for the touch. Is he there? Oh, Baynock almost got the shot on goal, but it looks like FSU trying to rotate this out. And I say it once, I'll say it again. Boise State is bullying Fresno State's corner, not letting them get the clears that they desperately require.
I'm dying. I am dying over here. I had to go find a new pen because I threw mine because of Adrian with these cuts, and man, he puts one back. That's another one for FSU. I'm broken. I'm done.
Oh my lord, someone needs to extend our warranty because we're here for a game 5 and I am excited. Listen, we got 35 seconds left. They could come back, right? They could come back. It could happen, but I think we may see a game 5 in this set because that was such a clutch goal from Fresno.
I need to leave and get some water or something. Ace Pocket, come on, my guy.
Oh my gosh, what was that angle? He juked him too. Look at this. The fresh kicks. Ah! Wow. Ace Pocket just looking for the opportunity there. Gonna be able to find it. And that's gonna put BSU back on the map. 4-5 now, 20 seconds left. Boise State looking to play here for the series.
I'm saying it right now. When NECC puts together a classic collection of series, this is it. This is episode 1. Right, you have to start with this series, and it's not even over. Fresno trying to bring the attack here at the end, and it doesn't matter. This ball touches the ground, and not yet. It's still up. It's still up.
What?
It's still going back the other way. All right, they're gonna let this one drop. We're gonna get game 5, game 4, absolute banger. Fresno State takes it by 1. Oh my goodness.
Wow. And I honestly thought that at the very end there, that was anyone's ball. Boise, I thought Boise was going to be able to get it. Fresno's going to take it out by 1. And we're seeing just one side or the other in this series. It's either, okay, we're going to play the first game. Yeah, you know, we got 2 goals. We're playing a lot of defense. Game 2, there's like 9 goals, right? Game 3, oh yeah, we're going to play it safe, 2 goals. Game 4, 9 goals in your face. It's back and forth action from Boise State and Fresno State.
Oh my goodness, my heart rate's through the roof. I wish my watch wasn't dead and it could just tell me exactly what it is. I want to vindicate you real quick. Let's do it. Let's hit this heat map real fast. You can see, you said they're challenging in the corner. Look at all of that red down in the corner. I hope it popped up. I don't have my display up. Yes, it did. Okay, it's up there. The other thing I want to point out real quick, demos. The blue end of the field is a slaughterhouse. Look at what's going on down here. All of it contained down to the blue end. What is that? 9 demolitions down there. It is a war zone in front of Boise's net. They got to get that clear and throw some of that taste of their own medicine back in Fresno's face.
Are we sure we're looking at a Rocket League field? Because this just looks like a battlefield.
Oh my goodness. Do we start casting Valorant and then all of a sudden we're looking at the kill map for Valorant? Because what is happening over here? Ace Pocket off the bat getting a shot, but it's off the post. Now Adrian carrying this one all the way out to the mid, and it's right back. It's on the goal line, and Baynock finds it.
Baynock barely able to get it, and what a touch from Adrian. Just, oh my lord, that was so close. Who was that in net? Who's almost stopped that? That was Adrian that was in net? That was so close.
So close, so close. I'm sitting over here. I've got a piece of paper, and something I don't do well as a caster is I don't highlight clips.
Oh,
Baynock in the corner to the top shelf.
Wow, what a play from Baynock again. I told you, going into this series, who was I looking out for? I was looking out for my boy Baynock on Boise State, here for blood. As we go, now 2-0 in this best-of-5 series, Boise is coming out on top in 20 seconds into the game, right? They have 2 points on the clock. Fresno is going to have to show the endurance. They're going to have to show the guts in this game to be able to win the series.
Step number 1, getting clear of their own zone. 70% of the time of this game has been spent in Fresno's end of the field. They have to get this clear, bring some of that pressure that we saw from game 4 down on Boise's net.
Oh wow. No, and we're seeing a couple of double commits coming out from Fresno. We need clear communication here in this game 5. That's what they need, and that's what they have, is Manny soars from above and is able to just knock it into the net.
The pass upfield from 1 to another, to the third. All three players on the clear to finish it off. My voice is dying. Oh my goodness.
This just in, someone call an ambulance because we're gonna need one here in about 4 minutes for whoever's going down, and we're gonna need a stretcher for Lars. Going 1 minute now into the game. It's now 2-1 on the clock. We've said it all night. This is a boxing arena more than it is a soccer field. As we're seeing another shot on goal. Manny's just looking for the clear, but once again, Boise bullying, stuck in mid ace pocket, looking to stick it to him. But Hyenia is going to try to set up a shot on Boise's goal.
Just back down the other way. Manny puts it off the back wall. It's barely there. Baynock down to ace pocket looking for a shot, and Hyenia is able to get that one clear. The pressure continues for Boise State. They've been so dominant in controlling this ball. The one thing I've noticed here as I'm trying to just bring myself back down, one thing I've noticed here is we're seeing a lot of dump and chase, a lot of big sends on the ball. I'd like to see a little bit more control, a little bit more composure. I can't do it, but I know these players can. Ace pocket trying to dive in on that one. And Boise continues to bring the pain. 72% of the clock now to Boise's advantage.
It's kind of crazy because I feel like at this point both teams are playing too adaptive, if that is such a thing. They're just looking for the plays on the ball, and we did see Hyenia a little bit ago get that missed touch, and a missed touch could mean everything in this series. So setting up the shots, having a constant line of communication on what you're doing and what you're setting up is going to be imperative for the goal. Like we saw right there, Baynock was able to pass mid, but Instinct just a tad too slow on the touch.
Baynock looking to find ace pocket downfield. I can't take these sends. Instinct back into the wall, gets a double, it's on the post, but Baynock finishes it. I'm done.
He's out. He's out. He can't. He can't. I don't blame him because Instinct, with the quick Instinct, Baynock was there. And he was able to get the touch. Ace pocket was on the third. It's like Lars was saying earlier, he was midfield, he was looking for the rotate, and he was just hanging out. He wasn't even needed. What a play from Boise as they're now up 3-1. 2 minutes and 15 seconds left on the shot clock. This truly can still be anyone's game. FSU just has to look for the rotates. And I think they're bringing them back. Lars, how are you doing? Have you taken your medication?
I'm trying. We're doing okay here. Back in front of the net. Boise with control of this game in the back half, but FSU still struggling to get this ball clear of their end. We need to see them get this one out with some better control. But like you said, again and again, they're just doing such a great job. Boise, that is, with Manny. Boise doing such a great job of bullying those clears, not allowing them to develop, getting up in the face of Fresno, and just bringing so much pressure, it's suffocating.
It truly is. Suffocating's really the best word because the ball is stuck on their side of the field like you got something stuck in your teeth or in your throat. FSU just not able to get it out. They're looking for the clears as Ace Pocket is looking for the microwave, opening it up, slamming it in. This is nuclear here, bringing it to you as he was able to nuke the goal. What a crazy touch from Ace Pocket, smacking it down. Manny was not quite there on the rotate.
This is why I've been asking for it. We need to see better control out of FSU. They set that one high over the mid, and Boise has been so quick to get up in the air. They've been so aggressive with getting out over top of FSU. And as they tried to send that one downfield, it brought players out. Here's an opportunity, but a couple of big demos. Boise, the only team to find demos so far this game. And if you send that ball up high, you know Boise's challenging it. I want to see Fresno keep it close. What a dunk from Baynock!
Oh my gosh. Do you know what I think? It doesn't matter what I think because the Baynock is here to smack it in the goal. What a crazy play from Baynock right there. He capitalized on the positioning. He was able to get the 50. He was waiting for the ball to jump in front of the goal. He was right there. It was like a leopard on the prow.
I got a confession to make and then a question to ask.
Yes.
So I was a boxer in college. I intercollegiate boxer.
Okay.
I've never seen Rocky. That's my confession. But my question is, it's my understanding Rocky loses at the end of that movie, does he not?
in the first one.
In the first one, unfortunately, as Baydock puts in another one assisted by Instinct. Here's Adrian falling to Boise State. I think we can start to calm down because I think we know how this ends.
I think it goes back to momentum. We talked about momentum the first two games a lot. And when you just have this much going in your corner, and when you're just able to get these rotates down and you're playing the mind games that Baynock, Instinct, and Ace Pocket are playing, it's hard to really do anything else but react. 1 second left. FSU, are they going to be able to do anything with it? It's going to touch, and that is going to be a series. Boise State Blue winning it 3-2, very close over Fresno State Blue.
Yeah, I was looking for a game 5 this night. We got it in astounding fashion, but boy, was it earned by Boise State. It was a slugfest back and forth, but when it came to game 5, it was, the Boise State show. What a showing out of them. And again, to vindicate you, we'll look at the map one more time. Look at all that heat.
Oh boy,
FSU's
Boise.
Corner. Yikes. They just suffocated them, choked them out back in that right corner.
Can't
for
see it right
FSU.
now.
Wow.
Can you pull it one more time? Try.
I hit the wrong button on my
Hey,
stream
there's
deck.
the button.
I'm
There it
sorry. I
is.
hit the wrong button on my stream deck.
Whoa.
But now you get to come into this knowing what to look at all that red. Oh my goodness.
So listen, I'm from Indiana. This is the Midwest, right? All I'm saying is if I'm on Boise's side of the field, I'm walking out on my front porch to watch Fresno's side of the field. That's all I'm saying. That's what we do in the Midwest when tornadoes hit, right? We're watching where they're hitting the corners, and wow, just a massive red spot right in front of the corner of Fresno's goal.
Wow. I don't think there's much left to say about this series. This is an absolute banger. It's been a roller coaster. We've seen incredible plays up and down the field, and it was a well-deserved game 5. But at the end of the day, Boise State improves their record to 3-3. Unfortunately, Fresno will now fall to 1-5 going forward.
But I want to point out that it is important, if you look at the records of both these teams, this is the closest series either of these teams have had all season. None of their games have gone 2-3 in either favor. All of their games have been 3-1s or 3-0s. So if neither of these teams have found their scrim partners yet, I think they may have just done it.
Yeah, if you want to improve, seriously, go back and play each other again and again and again. And, but obviously be careful not to fall into the trap of getting used to your opponents. But if you're looking for a nice, even competition to really slug away with and improve, you're right. This is awesome.
Yeah, what a series. It was so great to see the things that we were pointing out about Fresno's differences in game 1s against Boise's sort of very aggressive play. We saw them fix throughout the series very rapidly, showing that they take that knowledge and they really soak up what's around them for that chameleonistic like play where they're able to play off of what their opponents are throwing at them.
Oh yeah, not to discredit Fresno, because they obviously did such an awesome job setting this up. I'm gonna do it. They did a great job.
Yeah, he did it.
Going through this, they did a great job with it. But at the champions level, that's what you can expect to see out of these players. I mean, you could see these are all very high level players, and it showed on the field. Some of the connections, some of the shots that we saw were just incredible. And it's awesome to see. You love to see it.
A lot of these players from both teams, as I'm looking, Ace Pocket, computer science major, right? Baynock, pre-business major, right? Manny, computer engineering. Hyenia, computer science. These guys, if they download the source code, they've got it, right? They know exactly what they're doing, and they had the download on each other. So we were just seeing that quick adaptive and very reactionary play going into the mid part of the set. And when we got into game 5, there was just so much on the line. I think that we just saw Fresno kind of crumble a little bit under the pressure, and and we saw Baynock take advantage of it, specifically Baynock, but Boise, the whole team were able to just plow through. And that's what I said at the beginning of the series. We're seeing that a lot from Boise this year in those turnarounds when they need them.
Oh, absolutely. I do. As long as we're calling on majors here. Also, kinesiology, sports, with those reads and that game sense, it just makes sense that we've had such a banger series. I'm losing my voice if you can't tell, but we're not done yet. I think maybe, possibly, if we're just happen to be so lucky, we may be getting an interview here with one of these players. And if we could just be so lucky, because I need somebody else to talk that's not me, because I'm just fried at this point.
I just want insight. I just want their insight. I want to know what's going on. I'm thrilled after that series. Both, like I said earlier, if they haven't found their scrim partners, they have now. And they have to, because that was such a great series from both Boise and Fresno. They corrected a lot of mistakes. If you go back through that set, and even I think putting you on a pedestal a little bit, that the mid-play stuff that you had going on, showing the field, that's going to be another level for these players to go back into their play and say, all right, what happened? What went wrong? Right? And getting it from that third and objective perspective, that's going to just help them grow. And we're going to see both of these teams challenge each other to new heights.
Absolutely. This is something I've tried to strive for, and something I'm working through is getting into the data behind these games and presenting it in a useful manner. I think it's great for us casters. I think it's great for the audience, and I think it's super handy for the players. And I know there's some really cool stuff in the works, both myself personally and some fellow casters are working on some really, really incredible technology to move forward. And speaking of getting insight, instinct, what a series, man.
Hello, thank you.
Wow.
Right off the bat, the roller coaster, back and forth, back and forth. What were your thoughts going into game number 5?
I felt like we had it pretty well. We were a little bit shaky at times, but we pulled through and we did what we needed to do to get the win.
Wow.
Obviously you did, because you came out game 5 in pretty dominant fashion. Nuclear, I'm sure you got thoughts, questions, concerns, comments, hopes, and or dreams.
Yeah, instinct. You guys seemed like you were playing a very offensive game or a very defensive game a majority of that set. Game 1, you guys really only had 2 on the shot clock. As to game 4, there were 9 goals back and forth between you guys. Kind of what was going on in your guys' mental in between those sets? Were you like saying, all right, this next game, we're going to play a lot more aggressively? And then after those aggressive games, were you saying, all right, we're going to take it back a second, we're going to play more defensively?
Yeah, so our plan, whenever we were on the defensive end most of the game, we were talking about being more aggressive. And 1 second. We were just like trying to communicate with each other, make sure that like we weren't over rotating on offense, making sure that the net wasn't open on our end, and just a bunch of that stuff.
Yeah, you guys did a tremendous job of it. And I think if that's what you guys were saying in comms, that really showed through to the set. That shined through the surface. We saw a lot, as Lars put it earlier, a roller coaster of a set. And it seemed like you guys kept a lot of the control into Fresno's corner. And so the aggression really showed on that end. Tremendous showing from you guys tonight.
Thank you.
I want to touch on that. We're going to bring it back. I don't know if you could see it or not, but now that we have somebody to ask about it, you said you didn't want to be overly aggressive downfield, but you guys were aggressive. I mean, come on. If we look at the heat map, you brought so much pressure downfield onto Boise, onto Fresno. You just crushed them into the corners. Was that part of the game plan, is to just be aggressive in the challenges and not give them space to breathe? Or is that just a natural evolution of the pace of play?
Yeah, so our aggression approach was just like, don't give them any space. Whenever they did have space, they would have play opportunities, and so we didn't want them to have as many of those as we could. But yeah, our aggression was pretty good in my opinion.
Well, it shows, man.
Even looking at that midfield real quick, Lars, see that a lot on the corner going on the right side up to the midfield. I think that was a lot where you guys were challenging those rotates and those clears from Fresno and just pumping it back into their corner. That had to have been part of your aggression plan, was just getting those clears and catching those for 50s and opportunities on their end.
Yes, definitely.
For sure. So how's the team feeling right now? Was everyone in pretty high instincts, or pretty high feelings after that?
Yeah, we were all pretty happy. We were a little, I don't know, I guess taken back in the first few games, but we pulled it together. We were a little shaky, but in the end, it was pretty good.
Well, it walked away, obviously, with a huge amount of success. Congratulations again, Instinct, on your big win. I think we're going to get ready to transition out and let you go celebrate with your team. Thank you for stopping by.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Well, as we transition out of the night here, that is the actual last series of the night for us here for Rocket League here on NECC Esports. I have been Lars New. Joining me here has been Nuclear. We had such an incredible time. So if you enjoy the kind of content that's being brought to you here by NECC, make sure you drop a follow, subscribe, bits, whatever it takes to show some love to the channel. Also, a great way to show some love to us here at NECC is to show some love to the people that love us, our spawners. You'll be seeing an ad from them right after this. Also, if you happen to be interested in other esports, we got broadcasts all week, so make sure you're coming back tomorrow. Again, I've been Lars Newt. This has been Nuclear. Have yourselves a wonderful evening.
What sound experience would you like today?
I'll have the fantasy pack.
Good choice.
And could you make it a Cloud 2 wireless?
On his way, sir.
Sounds amazing.